Faraday was once asked, what use is electricity? He said, what use is a baby? And George Mallory, the great climber who lost his life on the north face of Everest, as you know, he was asked, why do you want to climb Everest? He said, because it's there. I want to know because there is something to know.
One thing that stands out especially for me is Pramod Basin's, because he points at something very basic, hunger for doing something.
It was very simple. The way we worked and the way we worked in Jetpack, as Deepa and others know, is very simple. You hit the bar, you raise it. You hit the budget, you raise it. It doesn't matter where you are.
He was very charming. And so sharp, the things that he discussed were highly mathematical, highly analytical, highly abstract, and he could just use all of them and demonstrate in very simple terms to us and use it to actually understand how society works. He spoke about corruption, he spoke about democracy.
I'm very troubled about the world being a terribly unfair place. I think the inequality in today's world is intolerable. I mean, we should not have to live in a world with this level of inequality. But a knee-jerk revolution does not work, because we've seen revolutions where one group of elite has been replaced by another group of elite. After the revolution, a group captures it. So you need to devise very, very clever rules that will not happen again once you manage to dislodge this very, very unfair society. I have no two ways about that.
She has this innate ability to push us in a corner and leave us there very uncomfortable. And she doesn't come in there to try and pull you away from that sense of discomfort. She wants you to sort of embrace that discomfort and see what you can make of it.
So it's not about quote unquote going back to nature, because no retreat to nature is possible except in the imagination. It's about working with contemporary technologies as well as with contemporary institutions and making them work.
What I liked the most about him is was his ability to communicate his ideas in a very effective and a simple manner, even to people who are not very familiar with his subject.
You go to buy a shirt in the market, and nobody knows that you're coming on this particular day. And you go there and you say, listen, I want to wear this kind of a striped shirt, not the normal stripe, the stripe that comes in like this. And it has to be black and gray. And he goes into the store and he says, I want this kind of a shirt. And he gets precisely the kind of shirt he wants. The fabric is made in Egypt. The thread is made by Madura Court somewhere in Kerala. The buttons are imported from America. The thread, something else is coming from China. The tailoring is done in Bangladesh. And the shirt is assembled for him, and it's available to him on the day that he walks in. So that is the miracle of the market.
Yeah, so I still remember the one line which Dr. Bhandari said in his last class. When you hear the song The Wall, how can you not be moved? And I thought that was an apt culmination of our course.
We actually have no idea what's happening to a large number of people, because what they're thinking and what they're doing is not accessible in the official records. There are all the official histories, including the Cambridge, which rely on official records, are by definition elite histories.
I remember Mekla Krishnamurthy always, this, because she was this tiny little, anyway person, and she'd always perch upon the table like that on a crossed leg, and it was kind of cute.
What happens when you're in a very intellectual environment, as some of you might already be feeling, is that critique comes quite quickly. It's much harder to do things. And I've seen from all your profiles on the web that many of you are very much entrepreneurs, activists, very closely engaged, and are seized with the idea of doing things.
It was interesting to see him so involved in the class. I particularly remember this one scene where all of us were asking him questions. Few people were asking about China, a few people were asking about what was the history of this, and you could see the anguish in his voice. He was like, well, that all is fine, but don't you want to know where we are going?
Isn't that more exciting?
I think I was so heavily influenced by Professor Elizabeth Lipari. You see, just superimpose her photograph with me, and you can clearly see that her hair has had heavy influence on mine.
No, but what is merit? I mean, if you're born in a family which is middle class, your parents educated, you go to an English medium school, that's already half the battle is done. Now, if you're a child born in a village with no schooling and you're born in a caste which is oppressed and therefore you're not allowed, what is merit in that world? Huh?
And so I always tell people, I am a sucker for logic. If you give me logic, even today, I sort of accept.
You know what, some people say you have a great product, but great product doesn't mean that you will sell great. You have a great business model, you have to have great pricing, you have to have a great go-to-market strategy, you have to have great visibility strategy so that people, you can't run radio advertisement for this, sorry. You can't run TV advertisement for this. You have to do on-ground demonstration, engage, educate, demonstrate and sell. 4 stages.
That there is a vibrant, growing grassroots movement around the world that is very digitally savvy, that wants to make a difference, that is finding out that it's possible to make a difference.
I would like you to choose your own heroes and role models. Why? Because I want you to become heroes and role models for the youth who is going to come. Sometime in the future, they should look up to each one of you. I would like to become like this. I would like to emulate this. I would like to follow. Should we not?
Every course also connected in many ways with every other course. So be it a course on Gandhi, and the very next month you're reading about Indian history and the makers of modern India, and Gandhi becomes one of the many people who created the modern India.
As Indians, we are prone to hero worship. Prone to hero worship. All these people were human beings. They had their failings, like all of us do, right? And we should recognize those failings and still continue to respect them.
Music is the product of a deeply felt anxiety. We don't have that deeply felt anxiety. That is why, the music of the 50s and up to about the mid-60s is really great, because we are looking at the new India which is coming up, and we are also looking at a critique of that India.
There's a kind of uneasy, coexistence of different genres that we know about. There's a kind of uneasiness and anxiety in the song that kind of goes together, and you can see that they're straining for something more with which to say what they want to say.
And my teacher is playing Holi, and when he begins to play Holi, the distinctions of the master and the slave, the distinction disappears.
Try and understand why the ambiguities existed at that point of time. Okay, that is why it's important to place that individual in a particular historical context.
There's this whole debate about if Beethoven had electronic guitars, would he have used them? And I think he really would have. I think so. I think that you work with the instruments that you have. You work with the stuff that you get.
What is a bit like Sufism? किसी बंदे ने कह दिया मैं फदा बिना हो गया, मैं मर गया, मैं लुट गया, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Sufism is not about that.
When you meet someone and you have got chutney, you have got dal, you have got bitter taste, sour taste, 20 different tastes, and the cooking is all about taste. It is all about subtle taste, strong taste. And when you finish this entire meal, when you have a meal, you don't say, I like it. You say, what a lovely meal. Sattvic bhojan is again. Sattvic is confluence of all these tastes together.
It really doesn't matter what I do. I mean, here until now I've been just running after things which, oh, that's what I think is really cool. But no matter what I choose to do right now, at least I'm going to ensure that, well, it becomes cool to me. Because I think that's the thing which is going to make my life at least somewhat meaningful. At least make an attempt to make it meaningful.
What am I doing? Is it what I really want to do? Or is it what the peer pressure is making me do? So I want to do things for myself, and am I really doing that?
The convictions and the possibilities that we have, and the passion that drives us. I think all of these factors are going to come together in a big way for YIF in the years to come.
I don't know whether I'll be contesting or not, but I really would like to explore the options of being a part of electoral politics. I don't know in what capacity, but I want to be in the fancy world of, elections.
When I first decided to undertake this course of lectures, I had thought, and I told the organizers, that I would do it for just 1 year and not do it every year. But today I'm not so sure that I would not like to do it again the next year. What has made me change my mind? What has made me change my mind is not simply the attractions which the organizers offer. What has made me change my mind is the enthusiasm of the students for the program. They have kept in touch with me, they come and see me, they ask me questions, and what we discussed in June still comes up when I talk to them and meet them. That, I think, is the greatest gain from my point of view of my participation in the program. And I'm sure that at least some of the students will leave this program with a better understanding of the nature of the social world in which they live, and in that sense prepare themselves better to become citizens of our democratic society.
So it seems like a bit of an unending battle of world wars, and I wish there was a better analogy. I'm still seeking a better analogy, so I don't have to use the World War II analogy. But I will only end by saying that somewhere you guys all are looking to find or have to find your next World War II. I hope that the YIF would have provided you the same leadership experience that that will set the benchmark for the next one. Next time you have to find something better, or maybe even create a program.
Main point is this guts, the nerve, attitude. They want the things that we don't know how to teach at the blackboard. The attitude. There's a Spanish word, chutzpah, nerve. Okay, which means daring, if you wish, not having the nerve to do it. And how I think that this is what this program is trying to instill in you, to infect you, in the best sense, okay? Infect you with is that attitude.
It's open-ended, deliberately so. Okay? You can't close the journey of reason, which is what we